Welcome, viewers, to our new episode of W3 Talks. Today we have with us Mr. Abdalla Zurani. He's professional in the innovation management system. He has the experience more than 8 years and well versed with the norms of innovation and innovation management system. He worked in multiple entities in government sector, and he's a member of advisory board of International Association of Innovation Professionals, and acting as a secretary for them, plus other activities. Surely Mr. Abdullah will guide us through the way. Welcome, Mr. Abdullah.
Thank you, Shahid, for having me here.
Welcome, sir. The reason we basically invite you in our talks is to let our viewers know about what is innovation, why it is important, what kind of challenges they could face, right? But to start before with that, I would really love that if you can tell us about yourself.
Okay, so first of all, I'm an engineer actually, because most of the companies right now, when I see someone working in innovation, mostly they are like doing administrative work, okay, and they are into, let's say, they studied business management or these kind of things. But I started my career as a R&D engineer, research and development engineer.
Okay.
So you know that R&D is governed by innovation, but a lot of people still have this idea that innovation is mostly about the culture, but there is nothing about R&D, and there is nothing technical happening in innovation. I started my career in DEWA, actually, Dubai Electricity and Water Authority. There was an R&D center.
Okay.
I worked on several R&D projects. Then there was an opportunity to work in innovation in a company called Emerald Steel Arkan. During this time, I was responsible for managing innovation in the company as a specialist in innovation management. And I noticed that a lot of things are like the culture itself. It was there when I joined a company like Emerald Steel. They had something called Think Smart, which is idea management platform, a very nice one. Unlike maybe other entities where some ideas just go through emails or not, let's say, well-established channels. So a total of 8 years, half of it in R&D, and the other half is in managing innovation.
Great. So now, once we're talking about the innovation, as per my experience, I have seen it like people are taking it something different from what they do day to day.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we as profession knows that innovation happens every day.
Yes.
Maybe by solving the problems, right? But I feel like there's a gap in the understanding when it comes to implementing innovation or to make the organization aligned with the innovation.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
So through my career, I noticed that organizations, the process of, let's say, developing the strategy for innovation, they need to come up with their own definition of innovation. This helps a lot in making, let's say, the employees understand what is innovation to us. So we don't, let's say, do anything and call it innovation. For example, in DEWA, they had their own innovation definition. But I like sometimes the innovation to be broad, not very specific. You'll notice that in some companies they will say innovation for us is any new idea or implementation that will add value, if it's in if it's service or product or a new business model. But if you go to ISO 56000, the innovation management system, they made it so broad. So it's and I'm quoting from ISO: any entity, okay, realizing or redistributing value. It's very short and it's very broad, so it can fit anywhere actually. But again, an organization need to be, let's say, not gonna say specific, but should tackle or should let the people know what kind of innovation they are looking at or they are looking for.
For me, I have a couple of incidents with a couple of companies. When it comes to innovation, they're asking me questions like, do we need to have a new setup in the company? What I meant to say is that people are confused when it comes to innovation.
Yes.
So what do you think?
Yeah, they are confused sometimes. Let's say, for example, I came through some ideas that has, let's say, cost saving. Okay, there's a cost saving, maybe by finding a new vendors or a new supplier through a procurement process. But and they call it innovation. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's procurement, it's not innovation. Also, another thing related to procurement, when a company bring, let's say, a robot for their customer service to walk around and interact with the robot for any service.
Yeah.
They call it innovation also, okay, where it's just procurement. There was nothing done in the company itself to make this robot or even to program this robot. So I saw this in many organizations. So it's better, again, to define innovation, conduct some awareness for people to understand what is innovation, what's creativity, what is an invention also, because not any invention is, let's say, not every innovation, okay, is invention, and the opposite also.
Exactly.
I can, yeah.
Exactly, that's what I will continue from there. Like if we go by the guidelines of ISO 56000 and all these series, it's not just innovating something by ourselves, right? As a company or as a person, it's something adopting the innovative technologies or services as well. Yeah, I believe you're referring to that. That's where people get confused. That's what was my earlier question. That, like, people feel like when it comes to the innovation, they have to innovate something by themselves, and mostly they are referring to the product.
Yeah,
like improving a service through an innovative mean, they feel like it's not innovation.
Yeah.
What do you think? How we
can? Yeah, that's why in some companies they don't call, let's say, their platforms, let's say, just innovation platform or something. They call it idea management or suggestion platforms. Exactly. Why? Because we want to gather anything that will help the organization.
Yeah.
Whether there's innovation or there's no innovation at all, but there are results. So this is what I noticed in the companies. They are trying not to, let's say, award only innovators, but award the people who, let's say, even suggest ideas. Maybe it's not a new idea, but the person or the employee executed the idea very well with the good results, and it's outside of his scope of work, for example.
Even it's not a new idea.
Yeah.
Or an organization, if we don't know that it exists, it's a new.
Yes. Sometimes, benchmarking. When we do benchmarking, when we go to any conference for networking or we attend any workshop, we can get ideas from other companies what they are doing, and we can copy it here or do something similar or even better. So there's no innovation involved. I just conducted some benchmarking or let's say looked at the state of the art of this process or this product or this procedure, and I implemented the same.
Yeah, great. So in your suggestion, when a company is going to, like, let's say, implement a innovation management system, or they are trying to build a culture which will support the innovation,
yes,
if you can briefly guide us and our viewers, like the steps they should start from and how to bring it to a maturity model to be a successful scenario itself. So
the process itself, you should first look at the gaps. Okay, why are the people not innovating? Why you don't have any IPs, intellectual properties, like patents or something like that? So we start by looking at the gaps in the organization. What is missing? And then you'll let's say you'll take action against these gaps. You'll start developing a strategy. Under the strategy, of course, you'll take initiatives like introducing new rewarding and recognition scheme for the employees. Maybe the company used to have a lot of innovators, a lot of ideas, but the people, they are not getting recognized or rewarded.
We can say, like, the motivation is not there.
Yes, exactly.
And it's very important for the human being to have a motivation. They come to the job to do their day-to-day activity. As long as there's no additional motivation or something to gain,
Yeah.
obviously they'll not come up for that.
Yeah, and you need to understand the culture. Some employees, maybe they want let's say something in their bank account by the end of the month.
Exactly.
And the others, they don't care. They just want a photo with the CEO, for
Yeah.
example, okay, or the top management. So it depends. The best solutions is that you give many options for them.
Like
Even-
we can say that understanding the recognition needs
Yes,
for each
yes.
person and then compiling them and driving into something.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a cash reward, maybe it's a let's say picture with the CEO,
Yeah.
or maybe some other kind of recognition.
Yeah. So in some organizations, okay, they went beyond that. They are awarding or rewarding people not only after the implementation of the idea or after a successful innovation, but even for contribution. Okay, when someone contribute in let's say an idea management platform or sharing knowledge or something like that, then they are trying to award them with let's say now they are talking about some sort of redeemable point where people can redeem these points for vouchers, maybe a Netflix subscription or any Apple iTunes subscription or these kind of things, Amazon voucher, for example. So this is I noticed happening right now in several organizations, and it helped a lot actually.
Yeah, again, it's a kind of innovation to understand the needs and what will motivate your employee and bring an innovative idea to reward them. So it's part of the innovation itself.
Exactly.
Okay. So if you can briefly guide us about the challenges when it comes to develop a culture within an organization, and they're trying to develop a culture which will promote innovation or trying to embed the innovation itself.
So innovation, when we talk about the culture, should be from, let's say, my opinion, maybe some people will disagree with me, but top to bottom, you need the leadership involvement in promoting the innovation culture.
Okay.
So you start by the leadership. Let them talk about innovation. Let them talk about what will people get as a reward, for even for the contribution, and what's our vision. Okay. Many organizations, they have innovation definition, and also they have their own innovation vision. For example, I am Abdalla Mahmoud, and my organization want to be the top 10 around the world, for example, through innovation and knowledge management and creativity.
Yeah,
just an example. So a lot of companies start by that: leadership, vision, strategy, then start doing awareness for the employees. Okay, they should know what will they get if they are innovating, because most of the time they are doing it outside of their scope of work.
Yeah,
and their free time.
Exactly. So another couple of points, if you can just briefly tell us about IP. I think most of the people are confused about IP, what is intellectual property and what can be considered as IP, and how we should approach them. So just an overview, what we can do for that as well.
Okay, so for example, let's talk about research and development.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's very related to research and development. Normally in innovation, when we receive ideas, mostly it's about quick wins. Okay. Something that is happening somewhere in the company, and we are trying to benchmark or implement the same, or improve a certain process. But in R&D, in research and development, you end after publishing a paper, for example, or conducting a very deep technical study on something, you probably might end up with let's say a potential patent. Okay, and here where we are talking about IP, intellectual property, how to manage the patent that you received from the research work you've done, whether it's from one of the universities you partnered with, or if it's happened completely internally in the company. So IP, how to manage the patent. Some companies, they just get the patent and they leave it there. Maybe they have a frame around the patent and put it on the wall or something, and that's it. But no, IP management is about how do you utilize and how do you use the patent.
Yeah.
Will you license the patent to someone and get a royalty? Will you sell the patent? Will you use it here? Do you have a strategy for that? So there are a lot of questions. How to commercialize the patent? This is the main question that people should ask.
Exactly.
But yeah, IP is not only patent, of course, the trademarks, know-hows, copyrights, but mostly when we talk about innovation, mostly it's patent.
Yeah, great. Okay. Last but not the least, if you can give us idea, and if you like to talk about this organization which you are a member of, this International Association of Innovation Professionals, and if our viewers or some of them are interested to be part of that, so idea of that organization, what it does basically.
Okay, so the association is actually a certifying body. Okay, for whoever want to be a certified innovation professional, or certified innovation manager, or even certified chief innovation officer. So different levels. You have the managerial level, top management, and you have the professionals. So this is the main part, the biggest part of the organization. But other things that the organization itself or the association, they organize several workshops and trainings about innovation. And recently they started working on a new award called the Global Innovation Award.
So that will be for person or for organization?
No, for organizations.
Okay.
So if anyone is interested to know more about the association, he can just type in Google the Association of Innovation Professionals, and he can straight away find how he can be involved in some workshops, or how can he be certified either innovation professional, innovation manager, or chief innovation officer.
No, we'll try to put the link also for that in the description of the video.
Okay.
So they can reach to that as well.
Be easier.
Yeah. So thank you so much being part of our show. And again, we welcome you always.
Thank you so much, Shahid. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks everyone for listening. This is Abdalla Zaraouni. I hope you learned a lot about innovation today. Please subscribe for W3 Solution channel. Thank you so much.